Monday. Happy Monday. Do me a favor as you guys come in that are watching live, do me a favor and let me know what city and state you are watching from. If you happen to be watching the replay of this video, you can let me know down in the comments. But I wanted to go live. I was going to do a video, but it's just easier for me to just go live really quickly. And I wanted to address a comment that was left in my group on Facebook. For those of you that don't know me, first of all, my name is Kendra, aka Miss K. I've been a medical assistant since 2004 and a medical assistant instructor since 2011. Kendra, aka Miss K, as I mentioned. I think I mentioned it, but anyway, I have a Facebook group on. I have a group on Facebook. It's called the Medical Assistant Lounge, and somebody in the group said something about it looking desperate to go around to different offices trying to find a job. And I wanted to do this video because, hey guys in the chat, hey Stephanie, Lady C Kayla, hey guys, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I wanted to do this video because that person said that it looks desperate to go around to different offices, and they were basically seeming like they were advising people against um advising people against going around to different offices. So for those of you that don't know, that is one of my biggest pieces of advice when it comes to trying to find a job, specifically for people who are having a hard time finding employment. There are some medical assistants that are in my group that have been, just venting about how difficult it is to find employment. Some of you guys have chimed in here on the channel because it is true. Some places they do want you to already have experience and things like that. So it can be challenging. So one of my biggest pieces of advice is always to first of all, of course, hopefully you can get hired on externship. If not, go through a recruiting agency. But my biggest piece of advice is always to go around to some private offices. And the fact that this person said that you will look desperate doing that, some people are desperate to find a job. Some people have bills, some people have children they need to take care of. Some people went to school for medical assistant and they spent money to go. Of course they're desperate. So I just felt like that's the wrong mindset to have about it. And I wanted to do a quick video just to kind of tell you guys to not have any pride about needing a job. Of course, we all are desperate for our jobs because we're all are desperate to live. We all are desperate to pay our bills. You know what I mean? And so it just seemed like the wrong mindset to have about finding a job, So, of course, you got to do what it takes sometimes. And sometimes it does take for you to print out multiple copies of your resume, put on something professional, like a blazer or just a button up top and some slacks and go around to some different offices and just say, hey, my name is, Kendra. I'm a new medical assistant. I was wondering if you guys were hiring. If so, can I leave my resume with you? Sometimes they'll say no, you got to do it online, which is fine, but at least you tried. And then there will be some offices that will accept your resume, right? And then the key is, like I said, print out multiple copies, print out way more than you need, print out 100 if you can, copies of your resume. And if you can, your cover letter, just be professional. So when you go around to these offices, if they are hiring and if they are willing to interview you on the spot, you're already looking professional and you already have copies of your resume. And also, it gives them an opportunity to put a face to a name because you guys know when you're applying to jobs, all they have is your resume in front of them. But if you are in person, at least you can, you know, um, let them they already see you. I've actually got hired a couple times doing it that way. So I just wanted to mention that, like, do not let anybody shame you into going around. I have never heard anything like that in my life. You would look desperate going around to different offices. You need to find a job. Of course you want to go around to different offices. And so I wouldn't want anybody to see that and to think, maybe I shouldn't do that. No, that is prideful. When you're trying to find a job, you want to approach that in humility because you need a job. You know what I mean? You went to school, you however long you went, you study for that, you pay for that. Some of you, I just had to address that because that is just not the right mindset to have. So for those of you that are looking for a job, as I mentioned, of course, Indeed.com. You got websites like Indeed, LinkedIn, and then going through recruiting agencies. So make sure you guys are searching for recruiting agencies in your area. All you do is search for medical assistant recruiting agency or staffing agency in your area. Of course, they get paid to help you find a job. And then the most tedious one, which is like one of my biggest tips, is to again search offices in your area, dress professionally, set a day to go around to all of those offices. That's why you want to plan in advance so you know where you're going. Go around, ask if they're hiring, have copies of your resume and your cover letter, and just be dressed professionally just in case they offer to interview you on the spot. Okay, so good luck to everybody that is looking for a job. Good luck to everybody that's about to take their certification exam. Congratulations to everybody that have recently passed. And while I am live for a few minutes, just let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll try to answer as many as I can, but let me know down below. Somebody said, where are you located? I am actually now in Georgia. I'm originally from DC, but I recently moved down to Georgia. Currently enrolled in medical assistant. Okay, Kayla. Struggling for 2 years and struggling to pass the CCMA. So, for those of you that may be struggling to pass your certification, you guys know I have an MA refresher course at www.marefreshercourse.com. It should be linked below this video. If not, I'll link it or somebody can type it in the chat, but it's www.marefreshercourse.com. I have a special right now, a 30-day special. Somebody asked me to do a 30-day access, but it's only $14.90, so basically $15 if you only need 30-day access. So anybody that's struggling or you just need help passing certification, you can get my MA refresher course. It's an online study guide. Amy says, "Hey, Miss K, taking my NHA third." Oh, good luck with. So everybody that have your test coming up, good luck to you guys. Make sure you have the test plan if you haven't already. Download the test plan. All you do is search for the test plan that you're taking. So you just go to Google. If you're taking a CCMA, you can simply just type CCMA test plan and it'll come up, or you could just go on the NHA website and use that as a guide to check off everything you already know. Whatever you didn't check off or highlight, you want to go make sure you find the information out. Working an MA without certification and need one. You want to find it, Stephanie. Just stay on it. Somebody says, what religion are you? I'm a Christian. It's already answered where I'm located. Oh, you're in Philly? Okay. I didn't think about this. Yeah, lady and anybody else that may be looking, like that's looking around, going around to different offices. Sometimes that's a part of the process. Do me a favor, guys, like this video if you haven't already, if you find it helpful. I passed my NHA. Congratulations. Struggling with finding an externship. So same thing, even whether you're looking for an externship site or a job, is going to be the same thing. Trying recruiting agencies, going around to different offices, and looking to see if they will be willing to hire a brand new medical assistant or medical assistant student that need externship. And when you guys are looking for externship, you can kind of phrase it in a way that you guys are helping each other because they're pretty much getting free help for those certain amount of hours that you need to complete, and then they're helping you get your hands-on experience. Does the test questions are they different in different states? So no, the test is national. So just to remind you guys, the test is a national test. It's not a license. It's not like nurses where you get licensed in different states. The test is national. So if you get certified in DC, you can come work down in Georgia. When will you be doing a one-on-one? I don't really do one-on-ones that much. So like if you go to bookmissk.com, you can get like a 15-minute phone call, but I don't do those as much. The site is still up if you do want to book one, but I do study sessions, group study sessions. So hopefully this week I'll be able to schedule one and maybe possibly next weekend, that last weekend in April, maybe, but I'll let you guys know for sure. Oh, Stephanie says she does have the website. Okay, good. Pamela says, I'm an instructor preparing my students for CCMA exam. Good luck to all your students, Pamela. Are you teaching in person or teaching? Well, CCMA, they got to be, I guess, in person or at least hybrid. So good luck to them, Pamela, and glad to have you here. I'd love to have other instructors chiming in. Talk again soon. Okay, Kayla, I'll see you soon. When doing an interview, do you prefer dressing professionally or in scrubs? Perfect question. So some people they do wear scrubs and they've gotten hired. For me personally, Drea, I recommend not wearing scrubs unless they tell you to. I always recommend being on the safe side because we've had situations where people have said they showed up in scrubs and the manager said that they should not have. They should have been dressed professionally. So I would always ask if you're never if you're the person that that you just don't know, you can never go wrong just dressing professionally. And you can even have your scrubs in your car. So if they say, well, if you had on scrubs, we could do a working interview. Oh, no problem. I got my scrubs in my car. But you don't want to show up in scrubs and then they didn't want you to. One person in my group shared that the manager said, "What made you think that that was okay?" And she said, "Because I'm a medical assistant. We wear scrubs in the office, but in that case, the manager wanted her to dress professionally." And that's with any job. Any job, many jobs wear uniforms, but that doesn't mean you're going to show up in that uniform. You can never go wrong with being on the safe side. Um, yeah, somebody said professionally. Miss K wanted to let you know my last two classes. Oh, that's Pamela. All went from class. Oh, nice. They all went to externship with. Oh, wait a minute. They went from class to work. Oh, without. Thank you for mentioning that, Pamela. So Pamela brought up a good point. So it depends on the program because some programs require externship depending on the certification. So for those of you that's taking the RMA, it requires certification, but some of you guys don't even need externship. So even like for an example, the person that mentioned you're trying to find an externship, if you're able to complete your program without externship, you may can go straight from class to work as Pamela mentioned, because some schools don't require externship and some certifications don't. RMA, they require 160 hours of externships, but if you're taking like the CCMA, they don't require that. So for the person that mentioned, I can't remember who that was, that said they're trying to find an externship site, you may not even have to do those free hours. You may can just go straight to working. So thank you for bringing that up, Pamela. That's a great point because it's true. My students, I just moved down to Georgia, but my school in DC that I had been at for a few years. Some students they didn't go on externship; they went straight to working because it wasn't required for our program. So we did get some students that went on externships, but some people they went straight to work. I passed my classes. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me go back up. Make sure I don't miss. Oh, so you're both Zoom and in person. Okay, so hybrid. I love that model, Pamela. What's the website? Oh, www dot marefreshercourse.com. I can't type in the chat on here while I'm live, but it's www dot marefreshercourse.com. Passed all my classes, been applying for jobs. I've been getting jobs interview. One thing I will say too, guys, if you notice you're getting interviews, this person say they've been getting interviews. If you notice you've been getting interviews, that's a good thing. So some people they apply and they don't get called at all. So if you are getting interviews, that's a good thing. Now you just have to figure out for anybody that's like, oh, I'm having interviews, but I'm not getting hired. Now it's time to figure out what could I be doing differently to actually get hired? Could it be my resume? And obviously your resume is pretty good if they're calling you. But trying to figure out could I be, what could be the reason that I'm not getting hired? It could be just not the right fit yet. It could be something that you may need to work on when interviewing, but that's actually a good thing that you are getting called. So now it's just time to figure out like, okay, why am I getting these interviews, but I haven't gotten hired yet? Just a heads up, guys, there's a train going past, so it may get loud in my background. Looking forward to study session. So Drea, I'm gonna try to I did say tell somebody else this too that I was gonna try to do it for the last Saturday of this month. So I will definitely try to schedule that this week and send the link out. Could you call a job and ask to set up an interview or externship? Definitely, yeah. My program don't require an externship, but I have been struggling to find a job with no experience. You definitely can. You can call around to some offices too. So, thank you, Amy, for answering that for asking that question. So you don't have to physically go around. I suggest it, but you can call around to some offices as well to find out if they're hiring. Most likely they're going to direct you to their website. Most places now, and this is one of the reasons why I recommend private offices. The reason why I recommend private offices because a lot of times they are the ones that will accept your resume because they hire differently. When you're going through a big company, they're going to always tell you to go online and fill out an application. Whereas private offices, you have a good chance of being hired, or I'm sorry, not necessarily hired, which can happen, but you have a better chance of getting interviewed on the spot, or at least they'll accept your resume on the spot with private offices. Pamela says our program is big on performing strong clinical skills such as 100 vitals, and I love that. How long is the program, Pamela? The school, my very first school that I worked for, Pamela, years ago, this is like in 2011. That was the last program that I was in, what that I worked for, that actually required a certain amount of sticks. Every other program I worked for, they didn't really require a certain amount of sticks, but I would have a certain amount for my students that they had to get whenever I was teaching the phlebotomy module. Okay, so your school required it. Okay, so if your school required it, lady, then they definitely need externship. Yeah. So some schools require it. Some schools require some, like for some schools, you're not even a medical assistant if you haven't done an externship yet. You have to do it. And it depends on the accreditation too. So if a school is accredited, then they will require an externship. So you can be accredited. Your school can be accredited. I'm sorry, approved and not necessarily accredited. It's still a school, but they're just not accredited with the accrediting bodies like ABHAS and then the other big accreditation. Hey Tanya, long time no see, Tanya. Good to see you here. Hey Mrs. Create 100. Help my students with their resumes, teaching them to put their titles on their resumes and use transferable skills from customer service. So that's awesome, Pamela. It sounds like you're doing a lot as an instructor. That's awesome. Do you guys have a department for that, or is that included? Like, do you as the instructors have to do those things with the students, or are you just doing it on your own, helping them with their resumes? My last school, the student services, they did that, but then my school before that one, we had to do it. So I'm just curious to see how your school goes. Amaya. Oh, got you. Okay, Amaya. Okay. Thank you, Amaya. Listing the skills they did, especially those. Thank you. Pamela just had a great point. I wish I was on my computer because then I could highlight this on the screen. But she mentioned listing the skills that they did in school, especially those who went above the course clinical requirements. So I will say, speaking to Pamela's point, when you guys are doing your resume, please make sure you list in your skills that you learned in school. I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody send me their resume. Hey, Miss K, what do you think of my resume? And they don't have no skills listed. I always tell my students, everything you learn in school, list it. When you go on externship, everything you learn on externships, list it. Because when these employers are looking at your resume, you know what they're looking at? They go straight to your skills. They're going to look at your education to see if you went to school for medical assistant, and they look at your skills. They also look at your experience as well. So your skills, every single thing that you learn in school, when you go on externship, I don't care if you only did it one time. Anything you learn, and your resume is a running document anyway, meaning you're always updating it. So you should have your resume on something like Google Docs so you can constantly update it whenever you do things. But every single clinical skill you learned in school, you add it to your resume. Why? Because you did it. You learned how to do it. That's the first thing they look at, are your skills, especially depending on which type of specialty you're applying to. You definitely want to have those skills. If you're applying to cardiology, your resume shouldn't just be all phlebotomy. You should have on there that you do EKGs and Holter monitors, event monitors, and everything else you learned in school, manual blood pressures. Pamela says we're a workforce development program. That's the program I was working for before I left DC. I love it because students get to go for free. I don't know, or at least at a discount. I'm not sure how yours work, Pamela. Are they going for free? I want to do phlebotomy now. Became a CCMA. Mark, yes, stack those credentials. You CCMA, for those of you, lady mentioned she's a CCMA. She want to do phlebotomy now. You don't have to do the entire program. You can just take the certification. If you want to do the program, you can. But you can just do the phlebotomy certification. You qualify to do this to just get the study material and just and it's right on the NHA website, lady. You already got CCMA certified. You can go right to that same website and get the study materials for phlebotomy and take that. Tanya said, yes, ma'am. I come by every so often to see how things are going. I love that. Tanya is one of the people that have been here for a long time. She got certified and she still comes in sometimes. So I love that. Because some people, they get certified and they move on, which is fine. That's why I created the certification video, just to help you guys. But I do love when you guys still come around. So thank you. Career services to do them, because career services sometimes doesn't work. I got you. That is true. Since I have a talent in doing resumes, I'd rather do it. That is so true, Pamela. I know exactly what you mean. Because sometimes they can generalize it and make it so broad, because especially if they're working with different programs. If you got different programs at your school, I can see how they can make it too broad. And it's like, no, we have to tailor this to medical assistants. So I know exactly what you mean. A video on how to do a proper resume and cover letter. Amaya, I think maybe I can do an updated one eventually, but if you search my channel, I already have I have a video on both. And I also did some examples on the video. I showed some examples from some of my former students, but it's one of my first videos I did when I first started this channel. So if you go to my main page, go to my main channel, if you go to home, and then if you click on videos, there's a way to sort it by, you want to sort it by the oldest to the newest. And if you do that, you can easily find it. And it may be a playlist as well, but I know for sure I have a resume and a cover letter video. Maybe need to update it eventually, but it is there. It's still, it's still relevant to today, because some of the same things I said in there I will probably say again, but I just showed a couple different examples. And then also, Amaya, I don't know if you're in my Facebook group. If you guys on Facebook, it's called the Medical Assistant Lounge. But there's a girl there. She is the MA specialist. Her name is Jasmine Coleman. I've been referring everybody to her because everybody that has used her services has given her great reviews, and her prices are good. She does like specials. Sometimes it'll be like $10. She'll say today $10 resumes, and she gets really good reviews. So check her out. She's called the MA specialist. She's on TikTok as well. So if you search the MA specialist on TikTok, if you're not on Facebook, or if you're on Facebook, you can look up Jasmine Coleman in my group. But probably the easiest way is maybe TikTok, the MA specialist, and let her know I referred you. So anybody that goes to Jasmine, the MA specialist, for your resume, let her know I referred you. She'll look out for you guys. Pamela says I tell them to apply to primary care. Primary care is a good one where you do some of everything. I agree. Certification for phlebotomy, you need 35 sticks. Thank you for adding that. To the person, I think that was Lady. So Pamela says that for the certification for phlebotomy, you're going to need 35 sticks. Thank you, Pamela. Shanae says, Miss K, I passed NCCT. Congratulations. Congratulations. Other people are congratulating you as well. Pamela congratulated you as well. I'm out, but I'm so proud of you guys. Keep pushing. Thank you, Tanya. It's so good to see you. Congratulations. Is that UL 5417? Oh, that she said 3 years ago. Okay. I'm glad you check it back in. I love when you guys check back in. Somebody says we both need to lose weight. Who? Me and you? Me and you need to lose weight. I'm good over here. You might want to speak for yourself. I'm okay. I actually had to gain weight a couple of years ago. I don't know. I don't know. This must be spam. We both need to hit the gym. I got a gym in my house. I be working out in the house. But you might need to speak for yourself. I don't know who that might be spam. Thank you, UL 5417. They said we need to lose weight. I mean, some of us do. Some of us do. Some of us are okay. I had to gain. Like that's a whole nother end of the spectrum. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Kareem. One of my favorite cousins' name is Kareem, by the way. I need to take my MA exam. Can you help me? So it depends on what you need help with. So, Kareem, if you check out my channel, I have so many videos on here. If you go to my playlist, go to the home section and go to my playlist, you'll see the MA certification videos. And then I have an MA refresher course. I don't really help one-on-one anymore. I do group study sessions, so look out for me posting that. Make sure you're subscribed. If you guys are watching and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe. Um, but I will be posting that. I think I'm going to schedule the next group study session for the last Saturday of this month. So whatever that last Saturday is, but I don't really do any more one-on-one because I just don't have the time. But I do the group study sessions. Thank you, Pamela. So Pamela, I think this question is for you. Lady says, so what do I need to do to get the sticks? I'm done with classes and I graduate next month. So Pamela, is the phlebotomy certification, are they requiring people to upload like a log? Like, do you have to submit a log? Yeah, Kareem, just look out for it. But if you go to Kareem, if you go to my playlist, you got my videos there. But then you can also, I have a right now, and I'm doing a special on my MA refresher course. If you just need 30 days, it's only $15. I have modules on there. You can watch videos, practice questions. I have over 400 practice questions on there as well. So if you go to www.marefreshercourse.com, that's an option as well. So www.marefreshercourse.com. You can try that out as well if you need a study guide. I have a TikTok now. I've been had TikTok, but I have one just for medical assistant. It's called the same as my YouTube channel, Medical Assistant with Miss K. Medical Assisting with Miss K. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any other questions. If not, I'm gonna get off here. I didn't want this video to be too long. But I did want to mention that. So for anybody that just joined, I went live and I just spoke earlier about a comment that I got in my group about it looking desperate when you're going around to different offices. And I just wanted to, can somebody, I don't know if somebody, I'm not able to type in the chat. I don't know if somebody's able to type it. When I'm live on my phone, for some reason, I can't type in the chat, but it's www.marefreshercourse.com. So www, I don't know if somebody can type it, .marefreshercourse.com. But as I was saying, I just wanted to go live to address that comment that was in my group. The person said that it looks desperate to go around to different offices to find a job. And my thing is, if you are desperate to find a job, you're desperate to find a job. People have families to take care of. People have bills. You know what I mean? People are trying to make something of themselves. Some people went to school and had to pay money they're trying to pay back, right? So of course some people are desperate to find a job, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm desperate for my job. I need my job to pay my bills. I need my businesses to pay my bills. So if that's desperate, then I guess I'm desperate too. But I don't want anybody to not do what they have to do to find a job because somebody is saying that they're desperate. That I had to make sure I addressed that. Pamela says they'll need documentation, that they completed the necessary sticks. What we do at my school is students come in and they stick with their prior instruction. Okay, got you. Okay. Lady says, thank you. Miss K, I tell my students to print out a 100 resin. Yeah, that's what I say too. I say print out at least 100. You need what? Yeah, print out at least 100. I say the same thing, Pamela. Exactly. Exactly. I haven't gone live with someone in a while. Pamela, let me know if you're ever interested on coming on here and we can give some advice as instructors. I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos where I had other people on the channel with me. I had a couple people that have their own schools. I had them come on. One girl, she has a mobile phlebotomy business. I had her come on. I had Jasmine come on to talk about resumes. So I've had quite a few people come on. So let me know if you're ever interested on, because you've been giving a lot of good advice in the comments. So let me know if you're ever open to it. I know everybody don't want to be on camera. So let me know if you're ever open to that. Quay says this woman is crazy. Also, I thought you was just about to say crazy. Thank you, Quay. So yeah, Pamela, if you're ever open to it, just send me an email, khearts, I forgot my email, kheartscpr@gmail.com. And that's anybody that need to contact me. That's probably the easiest way. is KHEARTCPR@gmail.com. Lady said I didn't get that many sticks, unfortunately. I don't know. Would your school be open to you coming in there to get sticks? I know my former school, if students needed to come in and get sticks, we would let them. So I don't know if that's an option, lady. I don't know if you mentioned how long you've been out of school, but if it's possible, I would see if your school would allow you to come up there, and especially if it was recent that you finished school, I would definitely see if you could go in and join the phlebotomy class and get your sticks in. Quasi. I just saw the first part. Thank you so much, Quay, and thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. For those of you that's preparing for certification and you need help, or if you're in school and you just need help, look out for my next study section. I'm going to try my best. I promise. I'm going to try my best to schedule it for the last Saturday of April, which is going to be the next weekend. Or maybe, wait a minute, maybe that's going to actually be, I can't even look at my calendar right now, but I think that's still April. I think this weekend, I know this weekend is the 25th. Wow, so the next weekend actually may be May. I got to look at that. So if it's not the last weekend in April, then it's going to be that first weekend in May. So we'll see. Oh, 2 weeks ago. Oh, perfect. Oh yeah, you fresh out. Yeah, you fresh out. So yeah. So yeah, they should be able to allow you to come get some more sticks. So yeah, just find out about that, lady. Let them know you want to get phlebotomy certified and see if you're able to come in there with that next class and get some sticks in. Okay, so that's May 2nd. All right. So it's not going to be April. So it won't be the last weekend of this month because I definitely can't do it this weekend. So maybe that first weekend in May. Um yeah, I should be able to do that Saturday. So look out for that, guys. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Just join the live. Will you be back on live? Um, Possibly tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow. Only Miss K 1081. There's the other Miss K, y'all. Only Miss K 1081. Yeah, so maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I'll see you guys.